Sounds good.
Hello and welcome to the Tuesday night 7 p.m. Adventure Highway Sleuths in Ysgard stream. My name is Blake Komar and I am the dungeon master for this game. We're excited to stream for you tonight and to introduce our cast. Starting up at the top left, Nick, why don't you tell us about yourself and your character?
Hey everybody, I play the character Steve Froman, former deli manager, now running around different dimensions in 5e with my talking horse Argyle. So deli manager to space cowboy, and hope you guys are going to have a good time tonight.
Awesome. Right next to him, if you're looking at the screen, to his right, actually, we have Kyle. A little bit about yourself and your character.
All right, my name is Kyle Lawson. Been playing D&D since I was 12, and I'm 31 now, so that's a long time. And my character is Brogan Naked Eye, the illustrious and greatest PI to ever exist in Waterdeep, the Chaos Realm, and now Ysgard, as he knows it. And he is also a lovable drunk that just believes he is the greatest at everything. And until someone shows otherwise, it remains true.
And last but certainly not least, right below him, we have Brittany. Tell us about yourself and your character.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany Reibkema. I play the Battlesmith Sister Zari. Playing D&D for about under a year, so newbie. And Zari's just figuring stuff out as she goes along. She has no idea what's happening half the time.
Yep. Yeah. She's feeling her way through all of the planes of existence, as you're feeling your way through Dungeons and Dragons. Both are
That's why she fits so well.
Yeah. Both are metaphors. Perfect. Similes, metaphors, swimming in it. So I'd like to thank our players for being here tonight, and if I will give a small recap, and we will just jump into this campaign. Our players had found themselves trying to solve a crime in Waterdeep, where they were catapulted into another dimension because of a catastrophic branch from the Ashen World Tree that had fallen onto the city. Some magics sent them flying into another dimension. They were rescued in that dimension, and after some hijinks, brought to another dimension in which hopefully they were trying to find a cure for an unwanted pregnancy. Maybe they can find a god to help them. Upon arriving in this dimension, their guide, Master Splinter, we found out that they had no idea where they were going. They have met a halfling named Carl, who is currently sick from drinking moss mead and eating some of the local food that was cooked. And they right now have, I guess we ended the last session with a fire giant making unwanted advances at Zari at one point. Zari, Steve, and Carl were following, or Zari and Steve were following Carl out to a hillside where Carl was sick, vomiting from eating the food, making these constitution saves, just constantly throwing up, in which they find that they're hanging out with fire giants who are going to Ysgard from Muspelheim, the fire giant realm. But they are going to Ysgard as an invasion force, as they see 100,000 fire giants.
Are we glossing over the fact that that same fire giant almost killed me in a single hit? Are we just gonna ignore the fact that I almost died and then I had to have Master Splinter, wiener extraordinaire of the rolling pool, come over and try to give me mouth to mouth, and thank God Steve was there to be like, bro, the wound's on his side, stop sucking his face.
Yeah.
Like, are we just glossing over all the awfulness that was my life?
Very true. Very true. That did happen. It was, Master Splinter is definitely forward about how he feels about things. He's had years of rulership, and he doesn't think about other people in the way we think about other people.
He's also had years of weird foot stuff, but
yeah.
We're going to call it for what it is.
You spend too much time in the infinity pool, that's what happens. That's exactly what happens to you.
Oh no, Argyle! You pushed him in there twice, Steve Froman.
It's just unnatural. Pools don't move like that. Anyway, as this would be Steve and Zari walking back to Zelda, the fire giant's apartment where where Kyle would be resting. You've got a very sick Carl in tow as you all are walking back. And what is going on as you guys are walking back after seeing these 100,000 fire giants?
I'm gonna look at Zari and say, so what do we do about this?
I don't know. This is above my pay grade.
I don't think we're being paid at all. I'll be honest. If we are, my bank has been empty for a couple of months now.
That just might be because of your gambling addiction.
That's fair. That's fair.
We also haven't seen Phil in a long time, and he writes our paychecks.
No gambling addiction.
Between my addiction to scratchers and buying those like over-the-counter wiener pills, Steve is constantly broke.
Big gas station blue pill guy over there.
Yeah, the wrappers are falling out of your pocket as you're trying to stuff them deeper.
That's right. I've got a little review column you can watch on YouTube.
It's
I'm gonna say, well, obviously we've got to tell Brogan about this and see what he thinks, but like I don't feel like there's any way we can stop 1,000 Zeldas tomorrow.
No, but we might be able to get ahead of them and warn the others.
Yeah, that's 100,000 too. It's not just 1,000.
That's it's a million kajillion as far as working. Like you almost died to one.
Yeah. No one's debating that. Right now, I'm sitting there with Carl as I'm beat up, and luckily, because Carl is also sick, I'm sitting there doing the whole. I mean, you would think I would be a helpful friend and do like the whole use key points to heal thing, but no, I'm literally just sitting there with Carl, handing back and forth booze and being like, it's not so bad, being a super sleuth in Waterdeep. Like you should, come back with us. We have a good time. Which of course Carl is like, I can't leave my farm. Tells me I'm stupid. Takes another swig off the flask, and we're both sitting there feeling pretty good.
Is that how it goes? Love it.
So to continue the line here, do we think we need to sneak out tonight? Like, is that
after you guys get back? Do you say that?
Yeah.
Game? I mean, I'm gonna look at you guys and kind of like do the whole like whisper quiet thing and be like, look, it's real simple, at least to me. If we're asking the gods of Ysgard to make you not space frog pregnant, rolling in there with the invasion force probably doesn't give us a whole lot of clout. That's probably a loss, Steve. And I
understand that's a big L. I understand that. I'm just saying, I don't know if we have a lot of clout. All we've got is Emperor Foot Patrol over here, and I don't know if he comes with a lot of clout either.
So we have two options, one of which puts Carl in a tough place. So I'm going to leave that up to the group. We can ask Zelda what direction they're going to get there and say we're an advance party, quote unquote, and then just go and scope it out. And by scope it out, I mean literally fucking warn them and help the group. Or we can roll with these guys and try to sneak away. Now, given the illustrious ability of our sneaks on multiple occasions between Zari and myself, I am not that afraid. However, Argyle, the Sean Connery horse, might not be as sneaky. I have no idea about Carl. And
we can put little sneaker pads on his feet. I think it'll be fine.
And Steve, the whitey tighty underwear man, and I say that to you, looking at you. I'm like, that's all on you, big guy. So I mean, we can be sneaky or we can lie. I'm down for either. I'm just
gonna say, in my underwear, whitey tighties, I still did better in that fight than you did. Let's just leave it at that. I would like to.
Well, obviously, I got hit and fell over, and then I got mouth to mouth by a dingleberry.
I would like to pose a third, possibly much more morally bankrupt option for the group. Zelda here seems very infatuated with what is now a very intoxicated and helpless Carl. Do you think we could just throw Carl under the bus and, quote, take one for the team, and we could just kind of sneak out as she was putting her to bed or whatever, And I mean, I feel like we'd never be caught in 1,000 years.
I don't know if that puts Carl in a great place.
I said it was a morally bankrupt option. Thought I was clear about that.
And Carl is passed out currently. Like,
yes,
is now passed out.
Oh, what? Because I'm a drunken monk for some reason? Yeah. Fair enough. I obviously drink more than her. She's also like 3'0" and weighs 48
and
pounds.
she's lost all of her stomach contents from the food you had made her prior. It wasn't you; it was the food. Let's put it that way.
I was gonna say everyone else was fine.
Yeah.
So, but you cut out.
Do we have any way to put this giant to sleep?
I don't know.
I'm asking you guys.
What's in my bag of holding?
Don't give
Come
them
on,
the steroid
Mary Poppins
drugs.
bag.
Don't give them the steroid drugs, Steve.
Master
I already
Splinter
have
walks
the
up to the
steroid
room you
drugs.
guys are in, says, "Hey guys, what are you doing?" And you see he is wearing, quite literally, an apron, like a cleaning apron that has frills on it, but it's 2 sizes too big.
Wait, who is that again?
That's 2 sizes too big is better than 2 sizes
And
too
Master
small.
Splinter walks up and says, "Hey guys, what are you doing?" And he is wearing a cleaning apron, 2 sizes too big.
Oh, we're gonna like glare at him.
I'm gonna go ahead and deception him and be like, oh, we're just talking about tomorrow and what we're gonna do to get into Ysgard.
Ooh, how are we gonna get in? Give a deception. What do you say to him that you're talking about how to get into Ysgard? A 11. Let me just pick up on. Let me double check his passive real quick.
Probably better than mine.
Yeah.
How do I roll under a 50%? That is hurtful.
That was hurtful. He looks at you and he says, Brogan, you're always playing with me. So are we planning something secret?
No. We're just having drinks, and Carl passed out already, and I'll look at Carl.
And he looks over at Carl, and you can see he actually has a slight look of disgust. He said, "This has been great. I'm learning so much about the fire giants. I've never cleaned before. I'm learning how to clean."
Tell us about the fire giants. What did you learn?
Well, I think I think Zelda really likes well, how do I say it? I think really likes Zari now. Hates Carl now apparently after Carl turned her down. Keeps talking about how Carl's the worst and how Zari's the best and how Zari's really the only one who understands her. But I really think that Carl and her had something. So if you ask me, I really think Carl and her should probably work things out.
Can you give us like 5 minutes, Master Splinter?
Yeah, I can definitely give you guys 5 minutes.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
As you literally saw a light bulb pop up over
we did a group
over my head. Yeah, we're doing like a group huddle.
Yeah.
Sidebar.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's a sidebar.
I'm gonna ask Zari how good she is at lying.
Shit.
Well, shit doesn't sound like very good. It's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna be like, I'm usually really good at lying, but Master Splinter's gotten really weird at picking stuff out with me.
Hold on, we didn't hear any of that. Sorry. What was that?
Say it again.
I can tell a decent white lie. That's about it.
So here's what I'm thinking. We're gonna have to come up with a group story about how we want this thing between Zari and Zelda to happen. It's obviously their names are alliterative. Like this is just a match made in heaven. But you're lying to her. Don't worry, we're not going to actually throw you under the bus. You're here. I would only throw you under the bus if you weren't here.
A little out of game antler there.
What I'm saying is we make up a story about how like you're too embarrassed to like hook up with her in this house because we're all here. So you would like to meet her maybe back where we originally met her tonight at some time. And she's going to go thinking you're going to be there. You're obviously not going to be there. We're going to be headed to wherever in Moose Behind. What's it called? Is something?
Moose Behind. Yes.
Yes.
Ysgard in Moose Behind. Listen, Carl doesn't remember all the details, but he does have a good plan here. He thinks everybody should listen.
Steve.
Oh, Steve.
Carl's trying to not pee herself currently.
Sure. Steve thinks he's got a great plan. What do you guys think about this plan?
I'm going to look at Steve and be like, Steve, that plan's great. The only thing I want to add to it is that we have to put Carl on Argyle so we take her with us. Because if Zelda comes back after Zari's not there, she's going to obliterate Carl.
Fair.
So, well,
oh, you're coming with us,
you're going to be with us, Zari. We're going to be sneaking away as a group. But Carl still being in the house is a problem. So we're going to throw her on the back of Argyle. And I'm also going to get real close and whisper. I would also like to suggest that I look around. I'm going to make a perception check to make sure Master Splinter isn't around.
Sure. Give a, you can't really tell. You don't know.
Well, I'm also going to say if he's really comfortable here, we can leave Master Splinter. That's okay. He's been getting real weird recently. When you told me he tried to French me, I didn't know what to think of that. There's not enough booze in the world to save me from the mouthwash that is that life.
I think he'd be happy here personally. Just think of the size of the feet on Zelda. That's a lot of foot to enjoy.
That's what I'm saying.
Any foot enthusiast.
And they don't even wear shoes because they're giants. That's what I'm saying. He would love this place. So
they're hot feet, both literally and physically.
The morally correct thing to do is for Zari to lie and then for us to sneak away with Carl on Argyle 100%. And there is no doubt about that. And because Argyle can still talk, obviously he will not mind that. It's way better than the trouser snake of Steve laying on him. And yes, Blake, I am bringing you back into that. The Sean Connery voice will never die. That's what you get for allowing 20s to be rolled.
Yeah. Burn! If I never wanted it, I shouldn't allow it. That's the rule.
So we need Zari's we need Zari's input on this too.
Of course, because Zari, you are the one that we are sort of hanging out in this, and if you think you can get the lie, so what do you think?
Okay, I'm not a good liar, guys. I can give a nice white lie. That's about it. That's all I can do. I can tell you that your pants look nice or your underwear looks good.
I mean, thank you. I believed you. Told me my underwear looked
if
good.
You told her that her underwear looked good, she would probably believe you. Me talking.
But I can assist you in the lie, right? I could be a liaison for this interaction.
Well, I'm also pretty good at lying. I just
if you're good, I'd say let's go with you, and you do.
I'm actually trained in lying, so we could try.
The question is, how do we get to Ysgard before she comes back? Because keep in mind, we tiny.
So
we have a horse.
We keep the same thing we're doing. They're not leaving till the morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, we tell her you want to meet her tonight because you're nervous about the battle or something. And you want to make sure it goes well. So, it's kind of a last hoorah thing before you go off to do your fight. And because of that, we also want to know kind of, where you're going in case we have to find you guys after. It's a very conceivable and believable lie. And then when I say that, she will most likely reveal the plans of where we're going and where you guys are going to meet. She heads in the other direction and we zip whatever direction we have to get into and just leave. That's my thought process.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't think it sounds good, please chime in. This is a team discussion. Also, as we're doing that, I have my arms around the two of them, and I'm peeking around, looking for either Master Splinter or Zelda.
Can I look for? I'm gonna do a perception check for Master Splinter.
Go for it.
14. It's not
a 14. You can hear he's in the other room, and he's actually talking to Zelda as he goes to clean something and breaks it. And you hear him say, "Oh, sorry, I've never cleaned before. I'm so happy to be learning something new."
So I mean, as I do that, and I'm peeking around, and I see Steve pick on that. I'm kind of this is kind of my idea mixed with Steve's. Zari, if you want to change it a little bit, please feel free. Chime in. We are a team.
Argyle yells out, I ache to run free in the hills of Ysgard."
Of Musil behind?
I definitely thought he was going to say of hell because he was wanting to die before. So I'm very happy with that.
One small tear rolls from his eye As you can see, he's thinking about valleys and beautiful rolling hills, is what you're
Like
getting
one of
from his.
those comic things above his head where it's just like a picture of like a goofy valley and like a
Yeah.
poorly drawn like fourth grader horse that's just like badoop badoop badoop.
Give it like a religion check as you're hearing him say that. As, it almost sounds like a religious proverb. As I ache to run free in the hills of Ysgard.
It's really unfortunate that as a monk I'm really bad at every skill I'm
Yeah, none
supposed
of
to
you
be good
know.
at.
You're like, what's he spouting off about? Like,
I'm gonna ask him. I'm gonna after I see the tier, I'm gonna specifically ask him.
it's like Ysgard is where warriors, when they die, go to relive their battles. I shall only be honored to walk the plains of Ysgard. I shall only be honored to see Odin's horse, the regal horse of all, Stegnir, and stand in his presence.
That is a golden horse that does
After,
transport by the Bifrost. It is a cool horse.
after he says that, I'm gonna say, well, I'd rather be slicing prosciutto, but we don't always get what we want, Argyle.
And he
I'm
goes
gonna go back to these
he
guys.
just turns around, does a complete 180, and just like stare like butt towards your
I'm gonna-
head
I'm
towards
gonna-
the other, and just looks in the other direction.
I'm gonna sack tap Steve and be like Steve, that was literally Argyle reaching out to you and you've been wanting him to be happier. You are
He's telling me that he
letting
wants to leave. We can't have that. I can't be a space cowboy without a horse.
he's telling you he wants to die an honorable death. That means he wants to live righteously. You're supposed to support him.
He doesn't support me. It's a toxic relationship we're in. I don't know what you want me to say.
Well, I mean, not everyone can come to the aid of their best friend and slap mud on him while he's dying. So, I mean, life's hard. Life is hard. That guy has also been 9 different animals in his life, 7 of which I have turned him into, and I will
All right.
take responsibility.
What were you saying, Zari, before Argyle chimed in with his dreams of Valhalla?
I forgot.
Well,
Let's just go with y'all's plan.
Oh geez. You guys can't tell Brogan is nervous because he gets the liquor sweats, but he's sweating. He's sweating. He's a little nervous.
Face is redder than normal.
I mean, it's usually pretty red, which is weird because as a green dragonborn, it makes a real Christmas tree look, especially with the baubles on the pimp hat.
I have a
Christmas
1
well.
in deception. What do you have, Zari? A 1. Would you like to be part of this lie, or would you like me and Brogan to deal with it?
You and Brogan.
All right,
I think
let's
if-
go. We're headed to the kitchen. We're going to
Alright.
the kitchen with the story.
We mosey to the kitchen.
As you walk in, you see Zelda look over and says, "Will you take your friend with you? Just get him out of my kitchen. I have to clean up after him after he cleans."
He doesn't
Man.
listen to us. He's an emperor or something, I think.
I'm gonna look at Master Splinter and be like, Master Splinter, would you do me a solid? And I'll wiggle my feet while I say it. I'm like, would you go hang out with Zari for a minute so we can talk to Zelda?
All right. And Zelda looks over and says, "Zari, don't take too long. I'm going to start cooking soon, and then we can go hang out in front of my ex's house."
Dad,
It's going to be such a great date.
That is a terrible date. But anywho, if Master Splinter leaves, I'm gonna wait like 30 seconds and then look over at Zelda and be like, "Hey, Zelda, do you got a second?"
Yeah, I got a minute. As you see, she's chopping up some like they look like just fire plants, like plants that were like orange leaves that you had been cooking with prior. She's chopping.
I'm gonna kind of scoot next to her with Steve in tow and be like, "Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm bummed it didn't work out with you and Carl. However, Zari is really shy. Like she's super shy. So, she really wants to meet up with you later tonight before the invasion because you never know how things are gonna go, and if things don't go well, that could be a bummer for the whole relationship portion because not all of us are fire giants. And are big and strong. So she kind of wanted to meet up with you if you're up for it, back to where we had first met, or around there. So it was just the two of you. But I don't wanna pressure you. It's just, that's kind of what she was thinking. And with that going on, we kind of wanted to be out of your hair because this is your house, and obviously, with everyone here, with everybody, it's a little weird. So, we were kind of thinking we'd take the rest of us and just, go to wherever Ysgard is and wait for y'all if that works. We just kind of wanted to be out of your hair and in a place that was productive. Does that make sense? We wanted to
It makes
give you the
sense.
best
Give me
thoughts.
does anyone else chime in to help you with this?
I'm gonna chime in. I'm gonna say it's it's a thing with Zari. We don't know her that well.
Well,
She just would like
fair enough.
she would like some private time with you, Zelda, away from all of this. I think that's understandable for anybody, especially kind of a night before an event like that's going to happen tomorrow.
And she looks over at you and give me your deception with advantage, Brogan.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Not my best roll, guys.
A 14. And she
How
looks
does she
over
do
and
that?
says, "Well, I mean, we could uh, go out there, I guess, but we'll leave together if that works."
Hold on. I'm going to say, can I use I'm going to try to use a persuasion. I'm going to say you can't do it that way. Because then we see you guys leaving together. The embarrassment stays. You see what I'm saying?
All right, you give it a try.
Can I do a persuasion?
Give a persuasion, yeah. See if you can ace it. Fantastic. With an 18, she looks over and says, "All right, I'll meet her out there. Yeah, that'll be good. I'm gonna play it cool as I walk out, and then I'm gonna just give me 10 minutes. I'll make up some snacks for both of us, cause just in case she's hungry."
She might be hungry, and she'll
Well,
probably be down to go in front of your ex's house after you guys talk.
Yeah, good thinking.
Yeah.
He'll never see it coming.
Especially after a snack.
Oh. And she starts packing it away and says, Brogan, Steve, you guys have really become friends. I'm sorry I knocked you out, Brogan."
Hey, to be fair, you're a mean force to be reckoned with. I'm not sad about it. You're a pretty big badass, and I'll like punch her in the upper thigh as like a friend thing. Just kind of like, yeah.
As you do, she says, "Oh, stop it. You're too kind. So, by the way, if me and Zari are out late and we don't get to catch you, because we'll meet you at the front of the march. If you meet us at the north side of town, if we're out all night, quote unquote, if you know what I mean by all night, if you
I
go
throw a
to,
couple of obnoxious winks.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, she's like, "I'll meet you at the north side of the city and we'll follow the road from there." I would not miss this invasion for the world. We've been waiting for it for probably a couple of 100 years, maybe 2, maybe 3. I don't know. Time doesn't pass here. How old are you, by the way? As she looks at you.
I'm gonna look at her and be like, well, I'm part dragon, but I'm not, that old. I'm, you know, 40 standard years, or excuse me, 60 standard years, but by dragon time, I'm still a old teenager. So
Yeah, you look exactly what you just said. Yeah. Um, Alcohol's a preservative, I guess. You
it's
are what you eat. If
I'm
you
gonna
eat
I'm gonna
preservatives,
look
you
at
stay
her.
well preserved. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at her and be like, honestly, it's a problem, Zelda, and one I'm not ready to tackle right now.
All right.
Helping you and Zari is my only goal right now.
Yeah, you're right, and I should be less judgmental. You guys have been really wonderful to me. All right, I think I'm done here. I'm gonna go. I'll play it cool as I walk out, and you
Oh,
guys
but
get the.
before you leave, do you have any of those extra snacks? Like, could I have a couple? Because I really loved making dinner with everything that you had. It was awesome.
Yeah, for sure. And then she hands you more of the fireweed, and uh,
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It was really delicious the first time.
oh
As
And
well,
as
and as a side note, because I know you're looking to have alone time with Zari, we are going to take Carl with us, so she's not here when you get back, so there's no issues. I'm just letting you know the house will be empty, so you'll be all set.
turns her head to the side. Carl, I don't care if Carl knows. I mean, you could tell Carl. I mean, that's really cool. You could tell her, but I don't care if she knows.
I know you don't care. I'm just looking out for you so you get to have the best time with Zari. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but you will tell her, right? You don't have to. You will, right?
I will make sure to mention it on the sly for you.
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna go.
As we're leaving the kitchen, I'm gonna pet Zelda on the back and like make a motion like this so she brings her head down, and I'm gonna whisper in her fire giant ear, I think she's got a thing for grease, if you know what I mean. And I'm gonna like double wink and walk out of the kitchen.
Very nice.
An artificial joke. Oh, I love it.
As she hears that, she says, "Oh, I wish I knew that sooner. Next time." And winks over at Zari as she walks out of the kitchen into the living room of her apartment in this stalactite.
Watch out, grease is flammable.
Winks at you, Zari, as she walks out holding and then waves. She has like a big leaf that's folded over a thing of snacks, and she waves it in the air as she goes to leave.
We just broke a giant's heart, everybody.
Yeah, I don't feel bad. She broke my friggin' back last session. I'm fine. I'm fine with this. She can cry herself.
She gave you an appendectomy
with her steam tears off of her already fiery face. I'm not sad.
Splinter looks at you all and says, where's she going?
Splinter,
you should go check.
Yeah, I don't know. They were talking about the invasion. I have no idea. All I know is that we're a bunch of non-giants in a giant's home, and if they come back and things don't go well, that's gonna suck.
Huh. Well, I better get cleaning. We don't want things going badly.
Splinter, and I'll put my hand out. She literally had mentioned how she had to clean after you. I have another suggestion if this works for you.
What would that be?
Well, as the experienced and most venerated of the group, wherever Zelda is going is obviously important to the invasion. I think it would be a good idea if you followed her so we could all kind of tag along with the we helped you kind of scenario, so that way we would all be safe, not only, yourself, but also, Steve, Argyle, Zari, Carl, and these bad boys, and I'll shake my talons a little.
A little bit of in the field work. I've never done that. I've always just sat inside the infinity pool and told others to do field work.
Well, I remember how excited you were about learning new things. This could be another new thing that you learn.
Ever since the destruction of my floating city and the destruction of my people, and now being left here to my own devices, I am having a fantastic time learning. This has really opened up my eyes and really turned a new chapter in my life. I will definitely go. Give me a persuasion real quick to see what his next words are.
Can I do deception instead?
You can do deception, sure.
Nice. Oh, or performance. Either is fine. I have performance and deception.
I would go with deception.
All right. Finally.
Unless you were tap dancing while you were doing it. That would...
No. I got a 21 on deception. I lied my ass off.
You lied your ass off, and he picks it up, and he's like, puts his hand on your shoulder briskly, and he goes, ever since the destruction of my people and then killing my wizards that were there to support me and, finding myself here now, I've really turned a new chapter in my life, and thank you, Brogan, for helping me move to the next steps of who I'm supposed to be. Let me blossom into the flower I truly am.
I'm going to clasp him on the shoulder and be like, I always knew you could.
And he literally starts to unzip his robe, taps his belly, and he goes, time to stealth. And as he goes to stealth, let's see how well he starts to stealth as he leaves the room. Or he has a +4, a 6 is his stealth that he rolls. As he goes, you see he trips over an ottoman, bangs into the door, knocks over a lamp, and starts to crawl out the front door.
I'm proud of you. Good job. That's why we let her go first.
You hear all of a sudden, about 30 seconds later, he knocks over a trash can outside as he bangs into it.
As soon as I hear the trash can and I know he's doing that, I poke my head into the next room and I'm like, all right, sorry. We know they're following the road to the north of town. Let's grab Argyle, throw Carl on there, and get the F out of Dodge.
Agreed. I pick up Carl and
Very nice.
put her on the wow.
You put her on.
Argyle, I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you. I just want to let you know I'm so proud of you.
Give a deception check. No, I'm kidding.
No, I actually mean it.
Yeah.
He was a battering ram, a flying carpet, a Pegasus, a horse, a human being. He's been everything under the sun. That guy deserves to be proud of.
Yeah, and now that he has a glimmer of hope in his eye, it's gonna be big. As you guys exit this house, close the door behind you slowly, you start to see a city alive at night as fire giants are walking around stalactite or stalagmite apartment buildings and buildings as they are all lining up in the city square. You see that you're able to basically the center of the city is where all of the fire giants are lining up into rows and everything like that. How do you guys want to move around? You see there's like sides, you see there's like a center, you see, there's a whole city kind of thing.
I mean, I would imagine if they're all probably forming up, it's probably in the center of the city. So I would probably say if we see a big group of like fire and fire giants, we're just going to go around them to where the north side of the city is, and then just start walking.
As you're walking through, you see a group. There's a one dwarf and a human that are both walking, carrying boxes and bundles. And they both have the same tattoo on their shoulder, both wearing the same sleeveless shirts as they are walking. And they go, "Hey, are you new to the city?" As you're walking by, you do see them just walking down the street. You don't see them accompanied by a fire giant, but you do see them.
Oh yeah. We just we popped in here, and then they let us know they were getting excited about Ysgard, so we're going to check out the road.
Oh, very
Make
nice.
sure it's all clear.
Did your master free you to do so, or are you ordered by your master to do so?
Yes.
No. Okay. As soon as I say no and Zarya says yes, I shut the F up. I don't say
And they're like, "Well, oh boy, well, enjoy yourselves. Maybe we'll see you on the other side in the invasion." Our master has been just filled with glee preparing for this invasion of Ysgard.
Mm. Yep, seems like a grand time.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
they
good.
are. They are a bunch of bastards.
It is going to be a wonderful time for all of us. I couldn't imagine. When I became a slave of Muspelheim, who knew I'd be invading Ysgard with an attack force of over 100,000? And they both look at each other like, I would have never thought. Like, this is just big days for both of us.
I'm gonna look at them and be like, so what are the tattoos brands, or are you guys related, or what?
That's the brand of our master. And you see it's the same brand on the shoulder. They're like, anyone here who's not a fire giant's a slave, of course. Where's your brand? How come you're not showing it? You're going to get stolen. You're going to get scooped up by a fire giant.
Well,
ours are where you can't see them. Our master's really particular about that.
I was going to say, me and my pimp coat, I'm like, oh, no, it's there. I'm just, covered at the moment.
Oh, I see.
I do that to be on the sly on purpose because I know while people are going to try to scoop me up, my master's a pretty tough cookie. So the idea is, don't advertise it unless you have to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get it. If it's in a place where only your master can see it, it would be in a place where I guess only your master would want to see it, and then looks over at Steve as like, I bet you're the favorite.
Oh, yeah, I'm cuddly, and I'm going to wink at him.
Well then, hey, we'll see you during the invasion.
Yeah, you guys be safe, and I'll kind of hold my hand out just a wave, be good.
Yeah, definitely, guys. Enjoy your time. And by the way, make sure to, if you see a fire giant, just show your brand, or else they will scoop you up, and you will get taken, and you will get broken. But then after the breaking, everything's up from there.
Yeah, definitely. I remember the breaking.
Yeah. Didn't love it the first time. Won't do it a second. Brand on the ready.
Well, see you guys at the invasion. Make sure to hydrate.
Absolutely, it's gonna be warm there. Be good, guys.
As this dwarf and human both walk off carrying crates. You realize if you are spotted in the city, there may be a possible issue not being or not.
What did
being
his brand? What did his brand look like?
It was
Yeah.
a circle that it was almost like a fire department style brand where it flares out at the top like a circle, where it just has a giant H in the center in giant.
Giant H.
Yeah, in the center
Like
of it, where it flares out on the insides of a circle, like it flares out like almost like instead of like FD for fire department, where it would like flare out how it would be in the center, it just has a giant H in giant.
Oh, if they're not gone yet, I'm gonna hustle back real quick and be like, guys, quick question for you. Who is your master in case I happen to bump into them so I can give the proper respects?
Oh, okay. Hilda.
Oh,
Hilda.
excellent.
I'm
You
definitely
know
not
Hilda?
making this actual face, but oh no, that's great. I was just curious because obviously as the lower class here, I want to make sure I always give respect. So it's Hilda. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And who's your master?
How do I word this?
You wouldn't. He's from another town. You wouldn't know him.
Yeah. It's
He goes to another school.
He goes to another school.
Yeah. My boyfriend's out of state. It's fine. But no, I just kind of look at him and I'm like, look, I want to tell you really, really bad, but I feel like if I tell you, it's gonna be a bad time. He's kind of a mean dude and asks us to not say anything. I kind of put the hands up like, so I mean, if you're okay with letting that go, it would make my life a lot easier as also a fire giant slave.
Hey, all good. Hey, I don't mess with anyone's game, but I won't say anything. I guess I don't even know who it is. So yeah. You guys stay safe. Remember to hydrate. It's hot around here.
Absolutely, you guys be good. Don't exhaust yourselves on the crate carrying. I'm sure there's going to be plenty more to do as soon as we get to Ysgard.
Are you kidding? When we get back, we gotta leave again for more crate carrying.
Ain't that just how it goes?
Yeah,
Bye, guys.
that is how it goes. The grind. As they giggle.
That's like the typical it's Monday conversation.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As they walk off towards the center of town. As you are moving through, you do see up ahead that it's starting to get busier in the section of the city ahead of you as you're like on the side of the city, kind of moving to the front. Give me some stealths real quick.
All right.
Just to see how noticeable you guys might be. It's not going to take much. You're small in comparison, especially to a group that looks upwards. Or you guys are fine.
Great.
19 to 14 to 21, you guys are fine.
We're the least conspicuous not slaves that ever conspicuated.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as opposed to people that are 9 to 12 feet tall, 9 being the shortest, we're at like 5 or 6 feet tall. So who the hell looks at their own knees to check for stuff? Like, no, it makes sense. We're good.
For sure. And as you are getting out towards the end of town, you start to see it is the same thing. There is a river of lava above your head, and you see it flowing out in one direction. On the ground is and it seems to be it has its own gravity holding it up, and there seems to be a path long. And as you look further and further down this road, it's almost like it goes completely straight out from the edge of town. It goes from like a cavernous area that's really narrow, which is the edge of town, going out. As you're like just walking out, it goes into like city to suburb to almost rural. And as you're looking, as it's getting rural, you're seeing the cavern is closing in smaller and smaller and smaller. And as you look out, it's just a long tunnel of cavern that is about 100 feet wide by about 200 feet tall. And you see it goes on for probably about 4 or 5 miles before it actually you see light at the end of it.
Do we happen to know if that direction is north?
That is
That's
north.
where
Yeah,
we were looking
that
to
would
go.
be. Yeah, and you can actually roll me a perception to see if you would know personally.
Well, I will do that. I would rather roll survival, but fair enough.
Yeah. Zari would know. Your
I
survival,
don't.
the survival you would rather roll turned to crap. You have no idea, but Zari's able to tell
Guys, obviously following the lava is what we have to do. I
you.
mean, it worked the first time and I only almost died, so it'll definitely work the second time.
Let's not bank on that luck. It's this way. North is this way. Let's go.
All
Into
right,
the deep-
sorry.
Following the yellow brick road. I don't know.
As you follow the yellow brick road, you guys are walking out, and as you're walking out, it's taking some time. It's definitely taking some time. You don't feel effects of too much wear and tear, especially because Brogan, you were able to sleep. And in this kind of frame, like you don't know whether you're tired or not, really. Like Carl was the only one with exhaustion, and she's now sleeping clearly. And you all are kind of in a place where there's no day or night, so it's only when you start to get really tired do you really want to sleep. Brogan's already slept. You guys have already kind of rested slightly, so you're in okay shape. Everyone has like their slots back and their health back at this point completely.
I will put a blanket on Carl as she's laying on Argyle just to be, kind of friendly.
She looks like a little bundle on the little halfling bundle on the back of this horse. And as you track your way out the edge of this tunnel, it starts to get brighter and brighter and brighter. And the further brighter and brighter and brighter it starts to get, you feel a colder and colder and colder breeze. And I would say probably as it gets to the point where it's like noticeably this is freezing cold, you start to see flakes of snow flying into this cavernous area as you are walking through, as the light gets brighter and brighter towards you get to the edge. And now you are about to cusp out to see what is ahead of you. Who would want to walk first?
I guess I'll do it.
Steve is happy. Yeah, being
Yeah,
first if Brogan isn't gonna.
No. If Steve's good for it, go ahead. I already got clapped like 2 days ago. So I mean, you go ahead and go first, Steve.
You go first.
I'm all liquid encouragement, and you're like, I've got this, in the typical like dad bravado, and I'm like, you got it, Steve. I believe in you.
Very
and
nice.
I take a step back.
And as everyone is slightly blinded as the light is shining in here, especially for the time, how much time you've spent in dark caverns at this point, you start to look out. And as you look out, you start to see a snowy hill in front of you, as it's about 6 to 7 inches deep snow as you're walking in it, Steve. And as you walk out a little further and further, you look up and you see birds flying in the sky, as it is a white sky, like a white blue sky completely. As birds are flying in it, there's a slight breeze with snow that is on the wind moving slightly. So it's like it's pretty much a clear sky with wind blowing slight snow around. It's not a lot of snow. It's more drifts coming up off the ground. And as you're starting to cusp over this hill, you walk out over this hill, and as you start to cusp over the top, you start hearing what would be almost like the sounds of thunder and rumbling. But it becomes more and more clear as you look out over this hill. As you look behind you, you've got probably about 400, 500 yards back to the cave entrance where you walked out of as you walked up this hill. And you look out in front of you about a mile and a half, and you see it lined from horizon side to side, 100,000 berserker soldiers standing in a whole ranks and row.
Wait, is that in front of or behind us?
That's in front of where you're going. As Steve cusps
thank
the
God
hill,
it's not
kind of a thing.
fire
So you guys
giants.
are back in this cavern entrance. He walks out about 500, 600 meters, and as he cusps the hill, sees about a mile and a half off that there is just an army of 100,000 barbarians just standing ready for battle.
I mean, these are my people.
And what do you do?
Do they need a deli manager?
And what do you do?
I'm gonna turn around. I'm assuming Argyle. These guys are pretty close behind.
They were Did you guys follow him or stay at the cave entrance?
I mean, I would have followed just because I'm not going to leave him by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
I'm
you
gonna turn around.
You all saw the same thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around and be like, but they're expecting fire giants, right? Like, I'm just gonna let's just go talk to them.
I mean, I'm just gonna walk up and be normal, and then if they don't like me, I'm probably faster than most of them, so it'll be okay. I don't know
I'm
about the
not,
rest of y'all,
but
but
I
I'm
do
quick.
offer sliced deli meats. So,
And I offer
barbarians love
booze,
deli
and
meat.
Zari can fix anything. I feel like we're a good trio to befriend.
Honestly, we're handy, if anything, and we have a talking horse.
Well, I mean, Zari is probably the handiest, but I mean, that's
Listen,
just
we all know
fair.
it goes unspoken that Zari is clearly the most useful person in this group.
As
All right, so I'm gonna kind of trudge forward, leading Argyle with his saddlebag, Carl, and these two down, I guess.
Carl
to the-
covered in a blanket, which was
Yeah.
the best move because now we're in a snowy area. You're welcome, Carl.
will not catch a cold. As
Here
you're
for you.
walking, the three of you with Horace and Carl in tow across this tundra over to this waiting army that are taking axes and slapping. They all have what would be like Viking helmets on. You see that on a kind of a hillside, like it's a long stretch as far as the horizon is as you see men in front of you. And as you get closer, it's clear you can't see past them. But you can tell there are definitely a lot of soldiers here, barbarians and warriors. You see on a hillside to the side, there is what would probably be the commanders, as you hear an echo on the breeze from that hillside that yells, "Halt! Halt! 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 Halt!" as it echoes, as you guys get within
Alright.
100 paces.
I'm gonna say, okay.
I guess I'll stop. Stop.
You see,
As,
you see riding off the hillside is at first, as they get closer, you see that there are three figures that ride off the hillside that are the commanders of this army. There are more commanders up on the hillside. They're kind of in the distance, so you can't see. The first one that starts to get closer to you all is you see someone riding a horse who has longer black hair. He has what would be almost like a golden armor on that would be body fitting, and has a helmet that with a circlet that has a large V coming off of it.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, right. The second rider behind him is literally just wearing a breechcloth, has a 12-pack abs, a chest that is larger than a mammoth's chest, has
So
golden
it's
hair.
Chaos Steve.
Yeah.
Chaos Steve.
Steve, yeah. Has golden hair flowing behind him, has a spear that he is holding in one hand. And the next person,
Steve is gonna suck in his gut a little bit as these guys approach. He's gonna start talking like he's
you see one bead of sweat just drip down from his neck down the center of his
Yeah,
body.
like all of a sudden he's got lats that aren't there. He's walking around like he's a watermelon salesman.
Straight ILS, just lat syndrome, doing his thing. While Steve's doing that, I just pull out my flask. I'm like, yeah, this is par.
This is how it goes. And the third guy you see riding up, first thing you notice is his horse has 8 legs as he rides
Oh,
up.
good. Yeah.
You see he has a helmet on that has horns on it, and he has a spear with a lightning bolt at the end of it as the three ride out.
Side note, well played on the Norse mythology there, Blake.
Cheers.
Well done. Well done.
So I'm obviously going to do as instructed and wait for these guys to get to us.
Yeah, and as they are riding up, the three of them ride up and start circling you, and they say nothing.
For the record, out of game, most of their horses are like 10 feet tall. They're not like Argyle. They're big.
Well, the horse with 8 legs is about 12, 13 feet tall, so he's like
they're
towering.
Absolutely bigger than we are. You're talking like almost gargantuan size.
Yeah, these are definitely large and huge beasts. Like literally, as you're standing, the horse's like midsections come up to your heads, kind of a thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And as they're just riding a circle around you, studying you all. And are saying nothing.
I'm gonna look up and be like, all right, I get the theatrics. You guys are tough, way tougher than we are. That's not the point. We're here because we escaped fire giant BS land, and I'm gonna point behind us. I'm like, they're all weird. We're here on accident.
Apple
Obviously,
Maps fucked
guys-
us.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, you guys are aware they're sending an invading force. They're sending 100,000 fire giants, and they are bringing the nuggets. So I don't know what else I can tell you to say we're not terrible people, but we are 100% not on Team Fire Giant. And I will take off my pimp coat and be like, look, no brand, all scales here, all scales.
The one with the V on his helmet and the one with the horns on his helmet are on either sides of your party now. And the gentleman with no shirt on and the breechcloth, who is ripped for days with long flowing blonde hair, looks you over and goes, "So you have escaped the fire giants? They are on their way, you say?"
Yeah, they're gonna be here in the morning. They were planning on marching in the morning. You will see them in the next 4 to 6 hours. I would guarantee it.
Ah, then we shall meet them on the field of battle. And what of the frost giants?
Who?
I
I thought
didn't
Odin
meet,
got rid of all of them.
I didn't meet any of them. I only
We
saw
only-
fire giants. We appeared there on accident, and it was the worst. But we got away because we're capable, and we would happily prove how capable we can be to help y'all as well.
And as you say as well, capable as well, roll me a perception, each of you. And if you don't get your passive, we'll take your passive.
I didn't get my passive. My passive is a 10.
10? Okay, so 10 for you, Steve, and none of you notice. As
passive.
all of a sudden, as you guys are talking it out, he says,
Well, Zari's passive is an 18.
"In 18? Okay,
Yeah.
your passive of 18. Zari, you look to the left of you all. If north is where you're facing now, towards kind of like northeast is where
So
you're
west
facing.
is where we're looking.
Yeah,
gotcha.
you're looking to the northeast, more north than east, but where the hillside they rode off of. You see a giant army in front of you. Behind you is the cave entrance, about 600-700 yards back. If you look to your west, Zari, which is the direction you're looking, which is behind the guy who has the V on his helmet, you all of a sudden see an army of what would be 100,000 blue giants marching
my
as
lord.
you feel the ground rumble first and then hear
Cool.
it. And
I just point. Are those the frost giants you mentioned?
as they look over and smile and they say, "Well, we know who we shall meet on the field of battle first. Are you warriors? Do you wish to live forever in Valhalla?"
In appropriate bro down terms, I hold up the bro knucks and I'm like, that's the only way I play. And I see if anyone takes it. That's all I do.
Blonde hair gentleman, no shirt, goes and fist bumps you and says, "My name is Balder."
After he does, because the pimp coat's already off, I take my shirt off and I'm like, you know what? I'm not as ripped as you, but I'm ready to give my best.
And he says, "Well, okay. Are any of you of ranks, or do you have special skills?"
I build shit.
I'm a hand-to-hand specialist.
Hand to hand.
I cut meat.
You cut meat. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna pull out my huge battle axe and say, with a very special implement, though.
Aha! A warrior indeed. For if you die in the fields here, you will be reborn the next morning.
Well, that's handy.
I look at him and I'm like, is that for real? Because I usually go with no abandon, and I'll pull out my flask and be like, this is usually how I roll into battle. And I'll take a swig and be like, anyone want any? And for the record, this is still that Chaos Realm 100 rolled shit. This is good shit.
And you see the guy with the V on his helmet looks over and goes, "Well, Chaos 100, actually. Yeah, pass that over here."
And I will.
He takes a
Big
swig of
flask.
it and
big
shakes
flask.
his head, hands it, goes to pass it over to Zari. As you throw back the Chaos 100.
Yeah, that was a big roll. I'm holding on to that. That flask ain't empty yet.
As they start to drink, he says, well, whatever brought you here, escaping the fire giants, has put you in a place for joy. Ride off into our ranks. Once you reach our ranks, get ready for battle, and you shall live forever.
I'm gonna look at him and be like, "Where's the Vanguard? That's where I want to be."
The Vanguard, and he points over to the section on the far right that's closest to the fire giants. I mean, closest to the frost giants area as they're marching. Like, they're still about a half mile off or so, but it's the part that's closest to the west.
I tell him you are a gentleman and a scholar, and I hope to see you again. And I take a big swig off what's left of that, put it now in my side pouch because I am not wearing my pimp coat, and then with fleet of foot, I run that way.
As you start running that way, you hear him in the distance say, I also had a question. Does anyone know about their numbers, or can any of you come with me and answer this before we start battle? We have some logistical questions.
I'll raise my hand. Steve's on top of it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gone.
And Zari, what do you do? As Brogan is gone, you see the gentleman with the V in his helmet and the gentleman with the horned helmet are both now starting to ride slowly on their horses back towards the hillside.
I take Argyle and Carl because they're still with us. We forgot. And I start leading them as far away from the bow as possible and find
you just start walking away from everything.
As currently one's unconscious and riding the horse, so put her someplace safe because she's not going to be very helpful right now.
Zari takes her to the reserve.
Pretty much.
Love it. So you go out to the back, chill out, where the actual meats get sliced for lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
As you're walking back, Balder is asking, so Steve, what was their numbers?
About 100,000.
And you say the morning they're coming?
That's what their plans are, yes.
I guess they're taking the North Pass, the one you arrived through?
That's the one they're lined up on.
Huh. And as he goes to speak to you, he says, and what did there, and as he goes to say what did there, you all of a sudden see blood come out of his mouth. And as blood is now flying out of Balder's mouth, you see a sword, a wooden sword, get stabbed through his heart, up through his throat, through his mouth. As the guy who is there on horseback is now behind him, who had the V on his helmet, has just stabbed him through the back, through his heart, through his throat, through his mouth, with what looks like, give me a investigation or a nature.
We're gonna investigate while this is happening.
Yeah, that's you're just because your eyes are like, oh, what the fuck?
I'm pretty sure it's a fork.
Yeah. You just see it's a piece of wood. He gets stabbed through the heart, through the neck, through the mouth. All of a sudden, the guy with the V on his helmet smiles and looks at you and says, "It has begun." Looks over.
Yeah.
You hear a screech of what would be a dragon in the sky. Though it is not a dragon, you see it is a long, long serpent. Probably about a 200-foot-long serpent goes flying through the sky. And as you see this 200-foot-long serpent flying through the sky, next thing you see is all of a sudden a 100-foot-tall wolf comes out from the other side from the east, and starts running full speed at the barbarian army. And from behind the army, as you arrive towards the hill, as you see his body fall off the horse, you look up with your head, you see a woman marching an army of the dead behind the Vanguard army.
So we have Hela and the wolf.
What is the guy with the V? Yeah, what is the guy with the V doing right now?
And he looks and he pulls the wooden sword out of him, resheathes it, looks at you, Steve, and said, "It has begun." Starts laughing, and he waves goodbye, brother, and goes to ride towards the direction where the wolf is running in.
And so this was obviously like a Norse, not god, but like king that was just killed in front of me.
Well,
Balder,
out of
give a
Yeah,
religion.
out of
Balder.
out of game antler, that is Fenrir and everything else, and this is the start of Ragnarok. Out of game.
Excellent.
Out of game, this is fucking Ragnarok.
Excellent. I'm excited about this. Steve is going to be a little opportunistic here. I'm going to grab anything that looks expensive and or commemorative off the body. So like his helmet, if he's
Yeah.
got like a cool wolf pelt thing that I want.
Oh yeah,
Like I'm going to own
he's
all of this stuff now.
definitely. You take his spear. It is a
+5.
It's going to be a +18 Vorpal spear, I'm sure.
It's going to be the highest plus they offer because it does a lot of weird shit.
It is
Not that I would know that.
a +1 vicious spear. So
Okay.
if you roll a crit, the target takes an extra 2d6. So
Excellent. And whatever helmet, I'm taking all of his, like anything that looks like it'll fit. Helmet.
Yeah, for sure, it's a +1 helmet.
yeah.
He has no armor. His helmet had just it literally had more holes in it for the hair to flow out of than anything really. It was more
Sweet.
aesthetic than anything.
Yeah.
But
Did he have
yeah.
like a cape made out of wolf pelts or anything?
No, he was just pure bare shirtless because the back looked just as good as the front.
Okay,
Look,
that's
look,
fair.
I was running at the Frost Giants, but can I make a religion roll to see if I recognize Fenrir? Like
Yeah,
in
for sure.
character?
For sure. Give me a religion to see what you don't know what's going on really.
No,
You're in the
I'm good.
vanguard ready for battle. Like
That is, I am so sad that none of my roles align with my actual knowledge as a person. Bums me out.
And as you're watching, you see now the frost giants are within range. You see him fall to the ground, and you see what happens is he shrivels to a husk and fades into snow on the wind as his body flies out. You're seeing the gentleman, the guy who had the V on his helmet, ride off towards the multiple. What was it? I think it was like 100 foot tall wolf as he's riding off towards the wolf. You look over to the gentleman who has the horns on his helmet and the spear, and he looks at you and he says, "We must attack. The only way out is to fight our way out." As he looks at Steve.
I don't know what the handbook says about fighting a 100-foot tall wolf, dude. You got any plans? Like that's not in my handbook.
Give a persuasion.
I've got the spear, I've got the helmet. He's not riding a horse, right?
He is riding a horse. They were all on
I'm gonna
horseback.
ask if I can ride with him.
You can ride with me, Steve. You may get on the back of my horse. Hold on
Thank
to
you.
my loins.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I will desperately grab it.
Hold on to my loins. He said.
Let's see. What did you wanted a what? A persuasion from me?
Give me a persuasion on you don't know much about fighting large wolf. 14 is enough. He goes, "You're right. What brought you here in the first place, my man?"
We were telling on the giant lava people. There was 100,000 of them coming. I'm space pregnant. I don't know if you guys can do anything about that.
How'd you get space? Well, congratulations first, but how'd you get space pregnant?
Thank you. I feel like I'm glowing. I shook hands with a frog, and apparently that is frog sex in weird space land.
It was a slad.
And really,
yes.
Yeah, that's the one. Yep, giant frog people. And then we met these feet enthusiasts who said I should come here in Moose Behind to get unspace pregnant, to have a space abortion, because apparently it's not allowed in other places of this galaxy. A little behind of you, if you ask me. But
as you're telling him,
I need you guys to fix this.
And as you're telling him, you hear him yell "attack" as he yells for the army and the vanguard to start
we'll
moving.
do the space pregnancy thing later. And
no, he goes, "No, Steve, hold on to my loins and tell me more. We ride swift with the wind and the snow."
So we're like, because I'm a giant fat guy, so I'm holding on to this very sculpted Viking man, like bouncing up. Because when you ride two up on a horse, one person ends up towards the ass of the horse and is just getting jostled up and down. So I'm holding on to the loin area, and I'm assuming these guys like see me on the back of a Viking now. I've got a cool new helmet and a big ass spear, and I probably don't look super excited, but
It's the same thing as riding bitch on a motorcycle. I'm real proud of you, Steve.
And as you're rolling in, Brogan,
I'm
you
gonna
would
I'm gonna tell this guy I've got something for him too, and I'm gonna hold out some of the steroid powder, see if he's interested.
and as he
I'm gonna have a
looks at it,
steroid injected.
as he looks at it,
Viking.
he's like, "Where did you get that, Steve? We don't have that here in Ysgard. Some call it
this is-
cowardice, but I won't tell if you won't tell.
No, it's not cowardice at all. It makes you strong, brother. You should
I
take
am
some.
Strong like the wind. Hold on, Steve. Hold on." As he yells,
I grasp at loins more desperately.
"Damn it, Steve! Hold on tighter!" As he rolls, as he rides as hard as he can. Zari, you're seeing this horse take off with Steve on the back. As you see a couple of his generals behind him. Brogan, you are now riding into Frost Giant territory. As all of a sudden, from right behind you, Steve, Zari, you notice it happen almost faster than Steve does. I need each of you to give a perception check.
Oh, look at you people that see things, nerds.
So 14. So Steve and Zari, you notice closing in faster than anything on you guys before the army's going to even meet the Frost Giants, before anything closes in, before any of that. You notice that probably 100 yards away, Steve and Zari, you would notice the large hound riding towards you guys. Riding
Excellent.
towards Steve, like running as fast, full speed towards your horse.
I'm confident that this man I'm on the back of and horse has a plan.
And as
I've got my spear ready though, for sure. 100%. Wait, is a spear a great weapon?
It can be a two-handed weapon.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering because I have proficiency with.
And
yeah,
I'm gonna.
I got proficiency.
You're proficient in grabbing loins. You don't worry about the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna use it. I've got my great axe out. I'm familiar with that. And if we're fighting 100-foot tall wolf, I feel like familiarity is king.
Grab your roll into initiative, guys. Make sure to click your token, and I'll reset your just so we have a turn order now. As this thing is riding up behind you, and Zari, you notice it. You're a little bit further outside. You're about 100 feet off from this wolf, where this wolf is now 100 feet behind Steve, kind of a thing.
Okay.
I'm laughing at my bad roll because I'm nowhere near you guys. I'm running at the Frost Giants. I'm not going to do anything.
And the top of the order is essentially where we're going to have the enemy interaction. Brogan, you're at a 5.5. Steve, you had initially rolled you got a 17 also. And Zari, you had actually an 11.14, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Steve, get him. Show him your loin grasping ability.
And Steve, as you're riding, you're at the top of the order and you hear him and he looks around and he says, "Steve, I do not want to show weakness or fear in front of my soldiers, but I feel like I can trust you, Steve. Can I trust you, Steve?
You can trust me, brother.
This is not the drugs talking. This is me being honest. I don't think we're going to make it out of this one."
I mean, I don't think so either, but you're not filling me with confidence.
But
Like
Steve,
I thought you knew what you were doing.
Damn it, Steve, hold on to my thighs. I need you to know. I need you to know that I care that you terminate this pregnancy. I care. I want you to do it. And I need you to get your friends and I need you to get out of here because this is going to get very real very quickly and we're all going to die here. And you, though you're strong, I've seen your figure and you are not going to be reborn as a warrior. I'm just telling you the truth. And hold on to my thighs, damn it.
That's totally fair. I just, I get winded fast. I'm very good for short encounters. Okay, like look at this, and I'm gonna I'm leaning forward so I can try to flex like a flabby gun for him. You should have seen me in my prime.
Dwarves are very dangerous across short distances.
Yeah, if it hadn't been for the coach's son, I'd have been all county in football. I used to be a specimen. That's all I'm saying.
We're natural born sprinters.
Yeah,
but still only counts as two.
I'm gonna say, well, if you need us to get out of here, I'm gonna need your horse.
No, if I fall, you shall take my horse. But now,
so I have to wait for you to die. I feel like you could just hop off, and that kind of just fast forwards the whole situation, don't you?
Steve, damn it, hold on. I will not.
I'm back to hold on.
I will fall on my feet or on horseback, but none in between.
Can I
Now,
try
you
to
should know,
persuade him that he doesn't need this horse?
this is a sign of something bad. We've known it was starting. And as
Yeah,
he
no.
says we've known it was starting, you see that Fenrir, the wolf, comes running in and goes to take a bite at him. And
Yeah, Fenrir ain't fucking around.
just missing his AC as it literally goes right by. And you see that these wolf mouth just lands almost like right in front of you. And it would be like literally like you got covered in slobber as it pulled its head back up, Steve.
Could Steve wouldn't take a swing at it while it was coming in like that? It
You
is
are
my
up
turn.
next. Go for it, Steve. You are
Yeah,
up.
I'm absolutely taking a swing
Take
at
your
friggin'
opportunity
100.
attack as it moves its head away, and your attack.
All right, so this is my attack of opportunity, 25 against
Very
it.
nice. As you hit it in the chin, as more slobber just flies all over you.
Good, I'm pissing off the giant horse. All right, so now if it's my giant
Now it's your
wolf,
turn.
rather, I'm going to enter a rage with a bonus action, obviously, and me and I don't know this guy's name. I'm clutching his loins, but I don't know
It's
his
definitely
name.
not Thor, so
You can
don't
ask
worry
his
about
name
it.
if you want.
I don't want to know his name because he's gonna die. But me and him, I assume. Oh,
Wow.
take that! Take that!
Where does your axe go on this 100-foot tall wolf?
I'm aiming for the
Right in the
eyes,
nose.
obviously, because it's like down. It's trying to kill us. I am not going to hit its eye, obviously, because I'm Steve, the deli manager, not some Norse god. But I'm aiming for its eye, so like I want this to hurt. Like it's uncomfortably close to its eye.
Right
As
in the
it
nose. Right in the nose.
lands right in its eye. It goes into its eye. You see it go in. It penetrates. It bleeds. Blood flies all over this eight-legged white horse. It flies all over the guy in front of you, and then it falls completely over you, and now you are just covered in blood as you see it wince off as its head pulls away. And all of a
That's right,
sudden,
babe. Steve is a space fucking cowboy.
He is the chaos god.
It
That's
keeps
right.
pace with you, though. It keeps pace.
Of course it does.
Zari.
I'm doing like the Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park, where like the T-Rex is chasing the Jeep. I'm like, come on, man, we've got to go faster.
It's just like that. Zari, as you see this going on 100 feet in front of you, you've got Argyle. Do you mount Argyle, or what do you do?
Is there something that weighs about 1,000 pounds near them that I can get
1,000
to?
pounds?
Yeah.
I just attacked a 100-foot wolf. My nuts weigh 1,000 pounds right now.
There would definitely be rocks that would be around, not necessarily 1,000 pounds, but there would be rocks around on the ground that are under the snow.
Okay.
It's pretty much a tundra that you're looking at, as like from all angles there is a battle coming from like three angles. There's just a fight coming at each other at once.
Cool. I will mount Argyle and start running forward, but I'm like 100 feet behind, so it's not going to be soon.
Gotcha.
I'm guessing.
Sure. Do you start to keep pace? Is there anything that you cast or anything you do, or?
If I could actually cast telekinesis onto one of the large rocks, I would like to.
Yeah, post up telekinesis. All right. So you gain the ability to move and manipulate a creature or object with thought. When you cast this spell as your action each round for a duration, you can exert your will on one creature or object that you can see within range, causing the appropriate effect below. You can affect the same. So you're gonna try and have one of this rocks fly out at the giant wolf.
Yeah,
Cool.
Once I get close enough.
I'm going to roll to see how the rock you're able to grab. It's hard to tell under the frozen tundra, but I'm going to roll to see how many pounds it is.
Because if it's under 1,000, I can do it.
458 pounds is the rock.
Cool. When I get close enough, I'm hurling it at him. Giant
Very nice.
catapult
And as you do so, give me, I guess it's a ranged weapon attack.
I guess.
Yeah, give me what would be a ranged weapon attack for you as you're hurling this rock at this giant wolf that is chasing them on eight-legged
We
horseback.
we want that 20.
Will it be spell attack or just
You can use your spell
weapon?
attack. It's whatever you use for. We use your spell because it's a spell.
Okay. So that means fire. I
A
crit.
25 crit. Wow.
Talking about, we wanted that 20.
Give
That's
me
right.
give me 6d6 as this rock crashes against it. Crit. Actually, I
Alright,
would say,
5.
yeah, that's 5d6
No! The
plus,
highest roll was a
wow, some of the
3.
lowest rolls, 9, 10, 11
The
damage.
highest roll was a 3.
Yeah, that is tough as this rock comes out and it just shatters into pieces as it barely hits it. As good try, but you're able to close some distance as you get behind. Brogan, you are up in the vanguard, and you see about 30 feet away from you now are these frost giants as you are about to smack two armies running at each other.
Well, I give myself the old flex and go, which is where I let them know they're gonna get it, and I throw the 2 arms, and then I run in.
Very
you go.
nice. And you
As
see
I run in, I attempt, depending on my initiative, to stop about 5 feet in front of a couple of them, and then throw my breath weapon.
Ooh, very nice. You can definitely do so. And as you do, throw your breath weapon. Very nice. As you do, so it's gonna be Constitution modifier proficiency. So what's the saving throw they have to make?
All right, let me pull it up.
That's a con,
Let's see, it's 8. It's 8 plus my Constitution mod plus proficiency. So that's a 12.
They would have to beat a 12. Both of them fail, taking 2d6
All right.
damage. And it's fire.
Two acidic, sir.
Oh, very nice.
Dragon. I'm a green dragon.
So they both take 8
acidic
damage. As you stop, everyone behind you keeps going, and you just see a slam of bodies as acid flies all over the people in front of you, and you see blood flying everywhere as slices and swords and everything is just going around you.
Fuck yeah. 15-foot cone. I'm bringing them rock sock'em beats.
Very nice, as acid covers 2 of them, and they get halted in their tracks as one of them was clearly going to swing at you and then doesn't. As Steve, you hear a whisper in your ear. It's Steve, hold on, damn it. Look.
I'm never stop.
I don't have much time.
I have loved your thighs for many a year.
I don't have much time.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm going to make it through this.
It'd be easier to hold on to if you weren't 3% body fat. That's all I'm saying.
I understand. And you look, and he is grandpa tight. Like, he is. Yeah. As you are holding on to him, his gray hair is flowing in the breeze, and you all of a sudden see, right in front of where Brogan would be, you see a lightning come down from the sky as he swings his staff forward. And he's like, again, I have not much time. I care that you survive this. Steve, I need you to make it to the Nords, the caretakers of Yggdrasil, the Ashen Tree. The branches have been falling. And he points to the sky and shoots a bolt into the sky, and you see that their cloud cover moves, and you see a tree that has branches going everywhere. Same tree that had been seen in a vision. Same one that had let a branch fall upon. Says, the Ashen Tree has fallen. I need you to make it to the center of the Ashen Tree. Follow that direction. You need to see the Nords. The 3 Nords, the sisters, can help you further. Steve, you need to... All of a sudden, as he says, you need to... You hear crunch, and all of a sudden in front of you, you just see the fur of the bottom of a maw of a giant wolf. As you now see his legs getting picked up off of this horse in front of you.
Okay.
And all you see is the back of the head of the horse now.
Okay. That's terrible. So yeah, I'm going to ride this horse now. Do I see Zari and
Zari would be behind you, kind of. Like if you were to look behind you through the legs, first you would have to grab the reins of the horse, so you're riding it, right?
I'm absolutely going to grab the reins of the horse. I'm a space cowboy, man. My horsemanship is legendary
on an 8-legged horse.
Realm.
They call him the gangster of love. You know?
That's true. I would also like to note, if there's any way to take this 8-legged horse with us, it is a strict upgrade from Argyle.
Oh wow! So
he's got 8 legs. Don't judge me.
Fix Argyle, and now you're just throwing him out there.
Listen, I was driving around in a Camry. Now I've got a Bentley, and you expect me to go back?
Look, you see Zari 60 feet behind you.
He single-tiered you. He single-tiered you.
Yeah, Zari's 60 feet behind you, and you would probably give me a quick perception as you're looking.
All right, I will. Yes, perception. That's not great.
You don't. You do not see Brogan. But what does happen? All of a sudden, a bolt of lightning comes down again from the sky. You hear an echo in your voice that says, "Steve, it's me again. You can't. Look, I'm gone now. You didn't know this, but give me another perception as the lightning comes down as your eyes are drawn toward it again. An 18, you see immediately that Brogan is now outlined in the lightning. Brogan, give me a dexterity saving throw as lightning comes down on you.
Perfect.
As you are outlined for Steve.
I rolled
a 7 as you take 3d6 lightning damage, and he says 11. You take 11 lightning damage as it comes down just after you breathe acid. And Steve, you get a perfect view of where he is in the vanguard. And you hear this voice in your head.
I'm riding directly at him on this 8-legged horse as fast as I can
and you hear, Steve, you must go. Abandon the field, for all is lost.
No, I agree, but I've got to get my friends. Listen, Obi-Wan Kenobi Space Ghost guy. I've got to go get my friends, and then we're out of here.
All right, I'll hold on. I'll hold on. You go get your friends.
Am I allowed to deflect missiles on lightning?
That would be a magic attack from a god, but
I mean, everything you said was truthful, but it still makes me sad.
So how long does it take an 8-legged horse to cover the ground?
You will have double the speed on this 8-legged horse.
Okay.
And as you have double speed, so you're now going to be able to move 100 feet a turn. If you want to include dash, that's now 200 feet a turn.
All right, so I'm going to get to Brogan.
You will get to Brogan as you see he is in the meat of battle.
I'm going to try to grab hold of him and like do the one-handed like cowboy flip up onto the back of the horse. Can I do a strength athletics check?
Athletics from you and an athletics or acrobatics from Brogan.
It's
not looking good on my end, bro.
It's looking a little better on mine.
A little better on your end, but it's more of you go to grab him and you're now just dragging him with your arm behind the horse. Like Brogan's able to hold on, but you're now dragging him.
As I'm dragging him, I'm gonna say, "Look, we've got to go get Zari. We've got to go to the Three Sisters of Vagisil. I can't explain right now, but we're gonna go and we're gonna get her and we're getting out of here."
Sounds like an awful lot of shenanigans, but I'm down for it. As Brogan is holding me in one arm, I am flasking in the other. I'm like, this is some bullshit. This is some bullshit. I'm gonna have a friggin' wank.
I'm an imperfect hero. I don't know what to tell you.
And Zari, you see that they are about 200. They're about 200 yards ahead of, or 200 feet ahead of you now, as he's kind of ridden through battlements as this horse charged through people.
Cool.
Do you follow the same path?
Yeah, I'll follow the same path as best I can. If the dog is still behind me, though, I'm going to use telekinesis again because it lasts for 10 minutes and just throw another rock to try and keep him away from...
Roll me another spell attack as you do, and then roll me another 3d6 for the rock, depending on the weight. If it's above 500, it'll be 4d6.
Okay.
And let me roll real quick, see how the weight is. 1d1000. Yeah, it's going to be 3d6 as the rock comes out for 16 damage as it slaps it across the head.
5, 6.
As it slaps it across the head, it digs its face down into a bunch of warriors and starts crunching on them as it slows to start. You just see bodies flying out behind you as it's tearing away through. You see the serpent in the sky swoop down and grab bodies in its mouth and swoop up. As the army of the dead is coming in, you see that Steve and Brogan have now cleared a path out towards the ashen tree. Do you follow?
Anything that's close, I'm just throwing a rock at it with telekinesis, okay? Anything that's coming close my way, I'm throwing the rock.
Just throw a rock. Awesome idea. And as you guys start to clear these battlements, you hear Steve, is it okay to talk? Are you free?
Yeah, I'm free. Go ahead. Come in, Breaker 19.
Steve, I did not introduce myself before. You have found yourself at an unholy time in our lands. You are now
Yeah, I
one of
didn't
the
think
most.
this was a normal Tuesday. Like that
This
would be
was
terrible.
no normal day in Ysgard. Might makes right in our land. You found yourselves in an interesting time for us, for you are now the lasting survivor of Odin.
Oh, good. Excellent.
Well, that's what you get for stealing a random spear and helmet, Steve. And as I
Space
will say while I'm
cowboy
sitting
Norse
behind him,
god, baby. Let's do this.
I
As
will,
Balder
I will
has
then,
fell.
I will then look at whatever the voice is and be like, you know what? Everyone makes
Well, it's a voice in
bad
his
decisions.
head.
Yeah,
Here's yours.
you don't know that I've just been promoted to Viking god. You be quiet down there.
as
Yeah, I said what I said.
as he says, you have found yourselves on the eve of the twilight of the gods. Steve, only you can make this right. Only you can save our pantheon and our people, all of my children. For you have
I knew
found
it. I
yourself.
knew it all along. I never had any doubt, and my chest puffs like an inch and a half.
Steve, hold on. Keep it together. Just hold on, Steve. As you hear an echo in your brain, you have found yourself on the twilight of the gods, the eve of Ragnarok. As it echoes,
Yeah.
Ragnarok,
This is
Ragnarok
terrible.
in your brain.
Inside me, 1 second. I have to switch the battery on my headphones before it dies. Give me 1 second.
And so Brogan, you see he's staring 1,000-yard stare off into the distance as something's talking to the back of his head as he's just riding his horse.
Brogan is gonna jeez. Brogan doesn't know what to do with that. He sees Steve riding second fiddle to another dude, and he doesn't really know what's happening. He was gonna fight a bunch of frost giants, and now everybody's being weird. I think Brogan's just gonna chill. He's gonna figure out what's gonna happen.
I mean, you are skiing alongside
Yeah,
of a horse.
you're
right now.
literally holding onto his arm.
I
as
feel
he's
like we
kinda...
should fix that situation at a minimum.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. But I'm just gonna say I'm gonna hit the jump. I'm gonna Shaun White the shit out of that. I'm gonna do whatever it is I need to do.
Very nice. Give an acrobatics or athletics as you are now inventing skiing in Ysgard.
Yeah, you know
Dirt
what?
skiing.
I will.
Very nice. You are even able to jump on the back if you want.
I will. There'll be
Um,
3 of us on this horse now.
As soon as he gets on, I'm going to say, "Hold on to me."
I'm gonna look at him and be like, "You mean the loins? Oh geez,
No, specifically the loins.
oh geez."
As you ride off, you have a second on a hillside to watch as this battle rages. You see a woman leading an undead army into warriors. You see frost giants leading an army into warriors. You see a giant wolf tearing through warriors. You see a giant serpent flying from the sky, destroying warriors. You also see...
With the 14 religion, do I know that that's Hela or any of the other pieces?
You know, with a 14, you would know that this would have to you would know like Fenrir. You would know Fenrir, and you would know yeah, you would know Hel, Fenrir, and what's his name again? Oh gosh. Jormungandr, which is the giant sea serpent that's flying
I
through the
was
sky.
gonna say, you know this. I'm proud of you, Blake. You did a lot of research.
Yeah.
So me knowing that and seeing all 3, I'm gonna lean over to Steve and say, Steve, this is the end.
No, this is the end for here. We're leaving here to go see the three Nord princesses of Vagisil. I think I've got all that right.
I shake my head no and I look at Steve and I'm like, Steve, this is the plane that was supposed to make you not space pregnant.
That's not what the guy said. Listen, I've got a space ghost in my head now. I'm going to try to calmly explain this to you, that I have been lifted to Norse goddom. And I am bolder now, I guess, and I'm going to point at my hat and like wave the spear a little bit.
I'm going to look at
I got a promotion, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry that you didn't get the promotion.
I'm going to look at Steve and be like, you know what, Steve, I was trying to help you. Whatever you're comfortable with. I'm here for the team.
We're
and
riding
I'll
like
stop
hell to the
talking after
point that
that.
this ghost told us to go
He's
to.
he's got a space ghost in his head and a bun in the oven. Like it's
It's true, man. It's a complicated complicated hormonal week for Steve right now.
As you look back and see all of this, you see what's going on. You hear Argyle looks up at Zari and says, "Oh my God, or wait, oh my gosh, Zari, I might blush. Do you know who that is?
No.
That horse. That's the eight-legged horse. That's Sleipnir. That's Odin's horse."
Cool. Let's get out of here and you later.
Okay, but
He's
Just don't-
trying to play Trivial Pursuit.
just don't
with
say
you.
anything wrong about me before you see. You know, I heard he's the son of a god. You know which one?
Yeah,
No.
it's Loki because he humps everything. But
Yeah,
next time.
as Brogan chimes in, and that means Sleipnir looks back. He goes, "Yes, my dad fucked a horse. Loki fucked a horse. That's what happened. Now I'm here. Can we all keep riding? By the way, Steve, you're really sweaty. Can you do something about
I really can't. It's been
that?" And that is where we end today. Cheers, guys. Love it. Thank you guys for being so awesome today and having such a great session and being so cool. That was a lot of fun to execute.
That was wild.
It was a good time.
Thanks to all of our listeners, viewers, people watching, everyone who cares what's going on here. We care, so thank you. Check us out on YouTube and Spotify. You can hear the reposts of this session by the end of Wednesday night. Is there anything you guys would like to plug or throw out there?
Yeah, I had a thing. Today is the 7-year anniversary of a gentleman who served with me who is no longer with us, and I would just like to say on a positive note, if anyone is ever having trouble fighting demons, any anything like that, please reach out. You know, you have friends. There's the suicide hotline. There's everything else. Please don't ever make a bad decision. I realize this is kind of a bummer after a comedy session, but it's really important to me. I've had not one, not two, but I won't give the number, but a multitude of people who have not done so well because of that. And you know what? No one is too big to fight their demons. So I would hope that everyone would realize that and do the same.
And thank you. Yeah, we
Yeah,
all
thank you for
second,
that.
third, fourth, and fifth that. If anyone needs help or sees a friend needing help, please step in to do what you can because sometimes you only get one chance, you know? Well, thank you for that, Kyle. And thank you guys for today. Fantastic session. And we'll see everyone next week. Tune in, like, subscribe. We'll see you all later.
For sure. Thank you, everybody.